I gotta say, thank you, Jess. Thank you for choosing us and me. This is really an honor, especially in the inaugural issue. Like, why wasn't there one before? We forgive you. But watch out, because the doors are open now, and you're going to get so many calls from Latinos going, why wasn't I on the list? And I will say my first cool car that didn't cost $300, because when I moved to Hollywood, I bought like a roller skate, was a Nissan Altima. It was. I know. Maybe they'll give me one for free now. You see, ask and you shall receive. Right. But I will say, first of all, it's really fucked up on blast because I've been drinking. Jess, that is not cool. Tequila. Although y'all don't have my tequila here, so I'm really pissed off at you guys. But we're gonna fix that. All right, okay, I wrote stuff down. I'm gonna hurry up and talk because I know a lot of us ladies are wearing Spanx. But I come from a really large family from Texas. I'm a Texican, and I had a lot of amazing role models, and I've really dedicated my life to Latino causes with my foundation and parental engagement programs and entrepreneurial programs and educational programs and scholarship programs, and all of that work is so important to me. So anytime I'm recognized for that, my heart fills with joy and pride, because it really is going to be not only my legacy but our legacy. And I really thought too long and hard about how to scale what I'm doing and how to make it more efficient and sustainable. And I quickly realized nothing shifts culture more than media, more than what we're doing here. And I've been behind the camera for over 12 years now. And I remember, I'm so happy Dolores is here, because I thought you left. Because this is Dolores' 8th event today, and she's 93. I've had one, and I'm exhausted. Right. But I remember, I wasn't even famous, and I met Dolores. I was on Young and the Restless, a struggling actress, and I met Dolores through a friend, and I was hanging out with her, and she told me, she said, what do you do? She was talking to me, and she said, you know what? One day you're going to have a voice, and you better have something to say. And I was like, me? I'm going to have a voice? Oh my God. And I never forgot that. And she's been a mentor ever since. She's the reason I got my master's in Chicano studies. She knows it. But I wanted to get behind the camera because I knew I would have a bigger impact in the changes I wanted to see in the world, and specifically in our country, and specifically in our community, because that's how we're going to shift culture. And that's where we see how policy affects people. And I knew I wanted to have the opportunity to tell our stories from our perspective, and not for us, for everybody. So it's not by us, for us, it's by us, for everybody. And I wanted to create heroes for us that look like us, on the small screen, on the big screen, and I made a movie. It's a damn good movie. And it's called Flamin Hot. Yes! And I really knew early on the responsibility I had when I got to tell this story. It's the story of Richard Montañez. He was a Mexican janitor who worked at Frito Lay and invented the #1 snack in the world, the Flamin Hot Cheeto. It's a multi-billion-dollar brand today, and it came from the brain of one of our own. And I remember early on in the process, I told Frito Lay, through Cesar Conde, that you may make Flaming Hot Cheetos, but Latinos own the brand. are Flamin Hot Cheetos. This is our brand. We made this brand. And so they understood that, and they let us make this movie. And I wanted to tell Richard's story because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's an amazing story. Rags to riches, American dream, success 101, and it's a really lesson about, I remember reading his story and I was like, I am Richard Montañez. We are all Richard Montañez. We've all been told no. No, that job is not for somebody who looks like you. No, that job is not for you because you're a woman. No, maybe you shouldn't dream that big. And Richard dared to ask, but why not me? Why can't ideas come from somebody like me? Why can't great things come from somebody who sounds like me, who has an accent, whose name ends in Z? Mine doesn't, and I get really annoyed at that because I'm like, I'm Latino. Like, your name doesn't end in Z. But I will say, we all had so much to learn from Richard, and we were shooting the movie, and he was just amazing. But I really quickly realized when I was on set how Hollywood defines what heroes look like, and they never look like us. And when we screened at the White House, on the lawn was 1,000 Latinos. President Biden introduced the film. It was so beautiful because everybody was seeing themselves reflected back. And they were laughing, and they were crying, and they were saying cabrones and pendejo, and they were saying all the things, in the movie. And I thought, you know what? The moment was so big for me because it was just surreal for people to go, oh, I identify with that. Because if he went through all of that and accomplished what he did, maybe I can do the same. And that was the point of the film. And so I know tonight they told us to talk about what we recommend to the next generation of leaders. And I always say, like, not only to dream, but dream big. And not just to dream big, but to put the work in. And ask, why not me? Why not me? Why can't good things come from me? And I know, a lot of younger generations get a slack for like, you guys don't work hard like we did. I went to school in the mud and walking, and when my parents said that, now I hear myself saying that to my son. I'm like, you know how easy you have it. So don't be afraid to put the work in, especially because we're Latinos, especially because we're women. And I showed up to do this film with no problem out hustling everybody in the room, with no problem outworking everybody in the room. I knew I was gonna have to work faster, I was gonna have to work harder, I was gonna have to work cheaper just to prove I was worthy of the job, a job that I knew I was worthy of. So don't carry a chip on your shoulder because of that. Be fueled by that. Put the work in and show them, okay, yeah, we did make the right choice. And I think there's no easy path to achieving success. I think anybody on this list will tell you that. It's not like we just make these lists up because we were lucky. We worked really hard. And I remember during the press conference, so many journalists would see the billboards around town, and they would see like all the success we had, and they go, can you believe this? And I go, yeah. I was there. I did the thing, I did the work for that. I dreamt that. So can I believe it? Yes. I deserve it. We deserve it. And so recognize your worth in that. Recognize that we are worth the opportunity. The last thing I'll say is, Latinos are the fastest growing demographic in the United States, but our demography is not our destiny. So don't sit back on that. Just because we're a large group doesn't mean we're a powerful group. So let's use that power at the voting booth, in corporate America, in Hollywood, at the box office. Throw that weight around. And I think we have to show up for each other. We have to continue to be heard. We have to continue to be seen. And I want to thank you, Time Magazine, for uplifting everybody's work on this list. And I do want to stress, we're not just Latino leaders, we are leaders. Too many. You are leaders, punto. So I am humbled. I'm humbled to be in your company.